Alright, cool, here we go. So let's start by marking out the key levels for today and what we can expect on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so between London, we got a set of very obvious London highs. Yeah, again, the Nasdaq seeks more of a discount. Alright, cool. Swept sell side, minor sell side down here. Alright, cool. Okay, so we're going to get onto bias in around 8 minutes time. We've already marked out the key levels. What's CNBC telling me? Nothing. Yeah, our Bitcoin position is getting relatively close. It got relatively close earlier anyway. It got to around 99.3k. So break even for me is at 98.2. Go and break even my Bitcoin short position. Currently floating around $51,000 in profit. It's a light position. Potentially we get a bullish SMT at this low here, so I'm going to mark it out. It's out of reach on NQ, but on ES it's rather close. I'm just going to post this in the AM prep channel for you guys. Also tonight I'm working on the P&L section. I'm going to be uploading last month's results and updating as we work through November. I'll be uploading November's results. So that's going to be worked on tonight. That'll be done and worked on. Obviously, whilst I'm in the taxi on the way to the airport, that's when I'm going to sort the P&L for the Discord. I just posted the levels inside of the AM prep channel. Nothing too crazy to mark out today. I'm just gonna get a little quick chocolate milk because I've only managed to have time today to eat. Fucking hell, what have I eaten today? Oh no. I ate so much yesterday, I must have eaten about 6,000 calories, but today, oh dear. Today I've had an avocado toast and 3 eggs. This is bad. Let's get chocolate milk in. Right, it's time to spike the sugars, guys. We're having M&M's, a muffin, and a chocolate milk at the same time. Does ES clean up sell side in 4 hours? Well, we're going to get onto bias in 4 minutes, so I'll speak to you guys in 4 minutes whilst I secure my diabetic generational run here. Alright guys, I've just finished off my diabetical run of a muffin, a pack of M&M's, and I'm halfway through this chocolate shake. I think today, apart from this, I've consumed only like 400 or 500 calories. I've had no time today. I've been all over the place, going absolutely bonkers. But yesterday, obviously, at least we got 6,000 calories in yesterday, so the bulk's not suffering too much. Give the stomach a rest, you know. I'm gonna have to get, you know, a serious load of calories in at the airport. Alright. So basically, as of now, we've got a bullish bias, okay? And the 5 minutes likely going to shift bearish, even if we see some sort of shift higher, but the overall bias is bullish regardless, and we have a bullish order block that we're trading out of. We look for a model higher, but as of now, we are just going to wait to see if price gives us a clean opportunity for longs. Yeah, this ulcer in my mouth is actually making me struggle to speak. Somehow, today I filmed a YouTube video, I don't know how, but I managed to get it done for you guys, you know, so it's more based off psychology. Now, you guys know that I don't like speaking about psychology, but I've spoke about a bunch of different things, so that'll be coming out soon. Potentially tonight, we'll see. No, not a vlog, it's about the model. I'll be on YouTube. And yeah, there is a vlog actually, that's a good idea. I will start filming on the way to Dubai. When I leave in the lunch macro, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll make it a vlog. It'll be a good time. Been eating too much Thai? What do you mean by that? Well, like the food? Oh dear. The food, I've only eaten like a little bit of Thai food, to be honest. Only a little bit. There is this one place that I do go, and essentially you just continue to order until you can't, until you've hit your max, you know, like 2,000-3,000 calories you're in, and you can't eat no more. And it's just pure lean steaks and chicken. It just keeps coming out until you just pass out dead, you know. So No, it's this Tai Ting's first time on a flight. You know what I mean? Bless her, she's getting all excited. Likely scenario, obviously, as of now, is that price just continues to reprice back to the low. And then we can see some sort of model once price seeks liquidity again as a long towards a New York Open high. That's what we're actually looking for as of now. So we've got a bullish bias, and I'm looking for price to seek towards the New York Open high. So bearish order block. If we stay stagnant just for a little bit, and then shift market structure higher, I will look for a long. It'll be a first day in macro long. Let's see if we... Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, it's like 10 times bigger, mate. It's crazy, I couldn't believe it at sight. Well, here we go. Pat for futures. He wants to get a word in. I've invited Pat. Someone sent me a message on my... Why do people send me messages on my Instagram and ask me if I want to scale my business, like scale like social media and all these different things, you know? You think I give a shit? Show me a route on how I can get more Top Step accounts, please. Or Apex, or, you know. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, bearish order block. If we shift above this high, I will be taking a long here. So, 5 minutes bearish. Alright, 15-minute close. I'm just going to mark this quickly. Is there... Haven't shifted just yet. I'm just looking at that 15 close to see on lowest point. 918. Yeah, yeah. No. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So the 15 inverse the bullish gap, traded into nothing. It depends. Has this been inversed already? I can see the 15's turning bearish, so it's not shifted structure. Yeah, it has been inversed. So the 15's neutral. So we got a bearish 5 and a neutral 15. Alright. Simple stuff, simple stuff. See, failed shift, it's likely seeking liquidity. How many times have you guys seen this now? Bearish order block. That's very likely to draw back to that area there. Bearish. Guys, we are the best in the game. I don't know anyone better in the ICT space. Disregard that we took a loss yesterday. That's not even relevant. That's a loss that we took following the model. If you look at my current year to date result of this year, no one's done it like me. I don't know anyone. Hourly's still bullish. Four hours still bullish. Obviously we got 9 minutes on the 4 hour. And the daily is still neutral. Yeah, it's neutral. It's going to be neutral for quite a while, to be honest. It really is. It's going to be a neutral daily for, I would say, the whole of next week. Yeah. Alright, well, that's what we got as a bias. That's a good idea. Let me lock that in there. I've locked it in. It can't leave me now. Right. Small accumulation period here. We've taken out a little short-term low. It's not quite an accumulation period. Even if we shift higher now, I'll still be looking for longs. Because we've got bullish bias. We've already swept sell side. Do you guys hear him? I really would hope so. You guys can hear me. If my mic is muted on Discord, it is an intentional mute all the time. But if my mic is unmuted and I'm doing this on the chart, then there's a problem. So, you know, if it has a mute symbol over my emoji, then I'm actually muted. You know? Yeah, so always comes down to step 1 and 2, and then step 3, boom. Market structure shift. Step 4, gap on both. Step 5, what's paired with the gap. Same process every single time. Okay. Highs to watch. What are we watching to invalidate the trade? This high. Okay. Oh, it's actually locked. I can't even move it. Alright, cool. I'll lock it there. Right. So ES shifted, and we're starting to shift on NQ, and then remember the same high on ES. This invalidates the trade. Alright, so considering we close above this high, which we already have on NQ, so we've already shifted. Shift on both, gap on both, bearish order block inverse. I will be taking a long here, guys. I'll be taking a long. I'm going to run a 60. I can run a stop. Yeah, I can run a stop here. So whatever you take with 30. One sec. No trade. No trade. So that's more or less a sweep of liquidity, because price has shifted but failed to hold above and actually hold above the shift. You guys seen this the other day, and it doesn't perform the gap, so it's more of a sweep of a short-term high. To then, the now likely scenario of what we just seen is this. That's the likely scenario. So it failed to shift and create the gap, and the gap is essentially a testimony for how strong the shift in market structure is, for it to hold above that area in price, which it doesn't, so no position. Thanks, brother. The full port joke is just, it's old now. It's an old joke. That was back in the Shiba days, you know, 2016, 2017, brother. Well, if you're looking to pass Apex evals, the best way is to just essentially full port the open. So I'm not joking. I know that you're joking, but I'm not joking. So passing Apex evals with no consistency rule, what you actually want to do is at the New York Open only, is that you full port in a specific direction, long or short, with 20 accounts. And when you're up 3,000, look, 60 points, all you need is 15. On 10 contracts, and you would get $3,000 profit. So you would have got, boom, 20 Apex accounts passed on the Friday. So that is the best and quickest way to pass Apex accounts, because the whole time that you would trade sitting on Apex accounts throughout the month to build them to a 3k profit of valid trades, that is 3k of valid trades across 20 accounts, which is $60,000 of profit that should be in your pocket, getting paid out 1k across each account, 20k payout. But other people would sit there worrying about $700 to $1,000 they've spent on Apex evals, full porting at the open, and potentially, obviously, there's that 50-50 risk that you're going to lose the account because it's not actually a valid trade. So would you rather trade the month, lose 20k, or would you rather lose potentially 1k USD? Or you can do it with one Apex account. So I mean, it's completely entirely down to you. That's my advice on Apex. All other prop firms, all other evals, they are from actual valid trades following the risk management plan on eval section. If you don't have a funded account, you must acquire an Apex funded account ASAP and trade those as your lead, so you're making money, and then run the other evals under Trade Syncer in the background. pass them in the background whilst you're making money. So have a mixture, have a mixture. I can't lie, this chocolate milk is absolutely banging. No fair value gap there on NQ, you can see no gap on ES. Absolutely no positions. Apex have added a new rule, have they? Well, I mean, I haven't been on the Apex evals. It's only been a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah. Well, they must have changed it. Yeah, it sounds like something Apex would do. On promos, it's 1 day pass. That does sound like an Apex thing there. I don't know if you guys ever choose to trade with sunglasses on, but I quite like it, to be honest. I do it quite a lot. I would say one of my traits is that I'm sensitive to light, you know. So if I'm staring at the screen for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, if I do a backtesting session followed by monitoring price, it gets a bit wary on your eyes. And I don't want to wear those, you know, other people be wearing these orange tinted glasses whilst, you know, that just looks gay. So I just wear the LVs. Okay, so interesting start to the first half of the first day of macro. Milo, when you're building out of live trading from drawdown, do you just stick to 2R static? Yeah, it's the same process always. Always the same process. Doesn't matter where you are, whether you're on a live account, well, to be honest, on an eval, we don't half position size. We continue at the same position size on evals. Assuming we're talking about funded here and we're talking about live accounts. If you go into a drawdown, you half your size, you still trade 2 to 1, you still trail your stops accordingly. The same process to the model always applies. Regardless. Milo, is it possible to do 1 day a backtest together? Well, we actually have, so I don't know if you was in the last one. Was you in the last one? We did one probably about 5 days ago. It was a 3-hour backtesting session. It is here, so it's recorded actually inside of the group. So if you actually head to the AM Prep channel in the Discord, so head to AM Prep, scroll up a few days, keep scrolling, and no, where is it? 1 sec. Where did I post it? Guys, where did I post it? I thought I posted it in the AM Prep. Yeah, guys, where did I post that link? Has anyone got the link? Wait. Oh, here we go. Jams has come in. That must be it. I don't know if that's it. Is that it? Let me check if that's the one, brother. I'm just checking out. No. I don't believe that's it, Jams, brother. You've sent the complete wrong link. That looks like a live session. Yeah, Jams, that's not it, brother. Oh, here we go. It might be this one. We've got 2 people sending the same link, so it's high probability, yeah. Let's see. Yep, that's it. That's it. I would like the message of the one that it is. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, so Yanis sent the link there. It's that one. So you can watch that. It's private. It's not on YouTube, so you won't find it. That is our backtesting session that we done the other day. It was around 2.5, 3 hours long. And we backtested half of August. So the start of the month we took a couple losses, and then we built up to a 5-hour profit, and then we stopped backtesting because I almost fell asleep. And then the other half of the month would have secured another 7R if you follow through to finish off the rest. I closed that month for around a 13R profit. It was a nice month. What's your thoughts of potential sell side sweep from the 22nd? Well, you know, it's one of those thoughts that just you don't need to make. Save yourself the thought. What's the probability though? If we talk, what is the probability of, you know, price taking 22nd low on the Nasdaq? I would say it's almost 100%. Absolutely. Whether it's going to happen today, this week, next month, or next year, absolutely 100% is the Nasdaq going to see a serious decline. Serious decline. We are going to go into deep red. Okay? So, with extreme greed always comes extreme fear. It doesn't matter what market or whereabouts you are in life, in different businesses, this is always the case. Okay? So the Nasdaq's been pumping and pumping and pumping. It hit 23 and I was kind of like, okay, we're at 23 now. Now we're at 24, 25, 26. So obviously time comes to a point where we do seek a big discount and a run on stops in the higher time frame. All of the US gets extremely overinflated. They got to tackle it. So obviously it's seeking back towards that low after that failed shift in market structure. You know. It is what this... Let me click on this guy's message. He's pissing me off. He said, just letting you know... Let me know if you would like to proceed. My VAs were spamming you above. Anyone who wants to do a background check. What do you mean background check? What am I? In a job interview? Oh dear. I don't know what he's doing. I don't want to work with I don't care. I'm not trying to have anyone texting me of what... I don't need people texting me, thank you. I'm turning my one-to-one students, of the ones that I'm still working with, profitable. I don't have to be texting this other guy who's trying to scale my social media brand and make me go viral. I honestly don't care. I've just made the most boring YouTube video there is, but it's strictly talking about the model, psychology, and money. That's it. So that's all we care about, you know. If I wanted to make it exciting, I would, but I don't. Don't care. I did it with an ulcer in my mouth. failed displacement, price then reached towards sell side again. So we've seek liquidity, and now we're going to see if this liquidity was enough for price to now seek a shift, inversing the bearish order block. Alright, so let me do a little quick outlook. Obviously, let's remove ES for now. Slap it on the daily. You know what? We will do this. Turn off the interval. Then we can just separate it. Alright, so for those of you in the Bitcoin short, this is what we're looking at. So obviously the alert's still set from yesterday. And yeah, nothing too much, so we don't have to do anything. Just go break even at 98,173. Currently trading out of a daily bearish order block on Bitcoin towards a set of lower time frame equal lows and sell side. Okay. So hopefully this all makes sense. So what one of you guys are currently in the Bitcoin short or Ethereum short or sold your crypto because of my message? I mean, hopefully someone listened and actually took action to save their own funds. It's pretty obvious. Bitcoin's price action on where it's likely to go is the most obvious thing in the world. Right, we're trading up into that bearish order block there. Okay. AC's just suddenly got quite cold. Alright, so invalidation is going to be this high. This is a bearish order block, so closing above this area is actually a bullish confluence for price. This is invalidation area here. So that's the difference. Shifting market structure here, we have a gap on NQ and ES, sweeper sell side, bearish order block inverse, shifting market structure on both assets. 5 minutes bearish. Hourly's bullish. 4 hour got inversed. Took the low, 4 hours neutral, daily's neutral, 15 minute. Right, entry is at 847. Nah, so we haven't traded into a 15-minute bullish gap. So all we've got is a bearish 5 and a bullish, so it's neutral. It's a neutral bias. See how the 15's not traded back into that bullish gap, and that puts us with a neutral bias. So we got a bearish 5. I don't see how you could say the 4 hours bullish, because we previously inversed this bullish gap. 4 hour took the low after inversing the gap, so it's neutral. Now this is old data, so I'm looking at current. Neutral, neutral, bearish. That's what we have right now. Yeah, this 15 minute on the 22nd that you're talking about, I've already seen this one, but this one's already been inversed. Look, we've already inversed this 15, so I've already monitored this gap. We can't take it because it's already been disrespected for price. So there's not something that we can pay attention to there. It's a neutral bias. But even if you guys pay attention to the risk to reward or even stop placement on this position, it's a very huge stop placement, and we can't even take this position unless we seek the lower gap either way. So it wouldn't be something that we could take, because the stop placement wouldn't be valid. Look at the stop placement. It would have to be 107 points, regardless whether it was a valid trade or not, because it's not whether, it's not valid because the bias is neutral. If it was valid, I still wouldn't take it unless we seek this area here to run a stop placement of, say, I could run it at the low of this candle here. So price didn't seek an entry and it's neutral anyway. So the 5 minute inverse, ES took the high, neutral. Trading inside of the bearish gap, still bearish on the 5. And that's correct, yeah. So obviously the macro, we're waiting for the second day of macro as of now. Sometimes it can be slightly unclear and as far as bias on some days where you have to look quite far to the left, but I've got a lot of experience with that, so it doesn't come at no stress. You can also use this little sometimes which points out the fair value gaps which you can't see, and it also shows the ones that haven't already been inversed. Alright, so we're going to wait for the second layer macro, and I will speak to you guys and unmute my mic at 10:35. I'm just going to get to packing my bag. Wait, one second, yeah, 1 second. We've got some thumbs down emojis here, just whilst I was between macros. Obviously, the reason why we didn't take along is very obvious. I mean, we've spoke about that. Why have we got thumbs down emojis? What's going on with my brother NG? That's the model, bro. Of course, you can try 1 to 5, but it's not going to end up like a stronger bias. Well, that's 100% true. We don't build bias on the 1 to 5 minute time frame. You know, you want to build bias on the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we look at 5, 15, hourly, 4 hour, and daily. Daily to get current daily bias, 4 hour to get the 4 hour bias, the hourly to get in the middle, 15 and 5 for intraday to understand where price is likely to draw intraday to whether the trade is going to be B plus or A plus. How often do losing streaks occur? Not really too sure. I'd say my last losing streak. When you say losing streak, is when I would say lose 3+ trades in a row. The last time I experienced that was back in June or July. I lost over 3 trades in a row around July time. So what, it's been like 4 months. Happens around 2 to 3 times per year. Ollie T. No, obviously he's joking. We don't lose. He's obviously joking. That would just be. This is silly. This silly questions, guys. Silly. I don't even know why you guys are engaging in chat here. This is very silly. If you have a question on bias, understand the bias, but don't question it. Because if you want to question it, come with the actual back-tested proof or with a better bias. And also come with a better model as well. And payouts. It's silly. Yeah, there's no need to ask whether I should be adding the 1 or the 3 minute in as a bias. I've got the bias to the most high probability point that you could possibly get it at. Adding the 1 and 5 minute. On the 1 minute, we look at a high probability entry on the lower time frame. That's completely outside of bias. Well, I mean, Sean, brother, this is actually a very similar reason to why I took a 6-month break previously. Because some people ask silly questions. But it's fine, you know, because there is questions that do arise. And I'm always here to answer both sides of the story. I want to make sure everyone's level-headed. I don't want people to sit there with a question but not feel that they can ask it. It's always very important. and it's good someone asked about the 1 and 3 minute time frame. But the one thing that is not good is if someone asks a question but then has a bias towards it and says that's what should be done, and that's the way that, you know, I should manage my position. Because I've made 1.325 million this year in payouts and on my live account overall. And if someone comes across with a couple $1,000 in payouts or no payouts and tells me to add something to my model, it is not something that I'm going to be paying attention to. So at the end of the day, people are watching me do my job, and I'm here to guide people and answer as many of you guys' questions in as much detail to the best of my ability as possible to make sure everyone's in good standings. Yeah, I'm going to continue packing my bags. Yeah, that's a very good question. That's a very good point, Jack. I think I will add that to the Discord just for new members on what, you know, to kind of expect and what, not essentially rules, but because I don't want people to think that, you know, we're very strict Discord. We're not strict. It's just like, you know, silly questions it's not necessary. What does this mean? Either 1 out of 5 can determine bias, or if dollar out of 5 are neutral. That's what we're discussing. Yes, I understand what you're saying now. I couldn't really grasp it. One result, for example, if you have neutral, 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 and one result as bullish, that is a bullish weak bias. If you have 4 neutrals, 1 bullish or bearish, that's a bias that leans towards that direction. But it is a directional weak bias. It's not strong. The stronger the bias is, okay, is where you have the 5 time frames aligning all together or close enough, where you have 4 out of 5, or you have 5 out of 5, or you have 3 out of 3. Because if you have a neutral is deleted essentially from your result. So neutral, this doesn't matter, doesn't apply. Bearish, bullish, that's the neutral that we're looking at there. So when it's neutral, it doesn't apply. If we have bullish, 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 and neutral intraday on 15 and 5, that is 100% bullish bias, because the neutral is essentially not part of the end result. So that'll be a strong bullish bias. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the strongest bias that you can get is when higher time frame is paired with the intraday 515, and you have that overall nice strong bullish or bearish bias that we've seen many times over. Well, we've got quite a few emojis going on weak bias there. Why are people going at NG for? What's NG done? Why is he getting so many emojis? I didn't really read the chat, so I don't know. What happened to NG? I mean, anyone who took a long here, they didn't make any money. In fact, they incurred a loss of minus 2R. Minus 0.2R anyway. Obviously, it's not a valid trade. Right, I'm just going to throw a few things in the suitcase. I will speak to you guys, answer questions in 5 minutes time. Alright guys, so we're seeing, obviously, we've swept sell side, we're currently running a bullish bias. And price is starting to shift market structure on ES. But we're still waiting for that confirmed shift. Right now it's still respecting the bearish order block. So ES is shifted market structure, but there's no shift in market structure on NQ. So no positions to take here. Alright, so we've got neutral 5, bullish 15. Got a neutral hourly. Hourly bullish gap got inversed, so it took the low, neutral, neutral, neutral daily. Alright. We can take a position for a long here. I'm going to take this with 22 contracts. Stop placement at the low. No, my bad. That's not a position, guys, that's not a position. Can you guys hear me as of now? Your screen is being hanged. No, there's no positions. So there was no shift in market structure on ES. So far today we've not taken any positions. Yeah, I was muted for, a couple minutes just monitoring price because it keeps repricing low off bearish PD raise, and you can see that it is trading back into a bearish order block, trades lower back to the low. So this is the continued process of today so far, and it just continues to reprice lower towards 24,805. Higher time frame point at sell side. So we've not quite traded into that 5-minute bullish gap. I'll put that as a 5-minute bullish gap there. I don't know why it's labelled that as a... Oh, it has, yeah. No, it's not even a fair value gap yet. I don't know why it's labelled that as a 15. That's obviously that bullish gap on the 15 that we're trading out of. So neutral 5, bullish 15. So on the 1 hour, price closed, inversed the gap, already took this low on the hourly. So it's a neutral hourly. So still a shift higher in market structure is going to be a position that we are looking to take. So if we shift higher in market structure above this area, we do have a bullish bias to look for longs. Can we do Skype instead? Nay, you're gay. Yeah, Skype's gay. I think the last time I heard someone talk about Skype was in like 2004. My uncle was on a call with my granddad on Skype, because they're in different countries, you know. I think some of you guys can hear me, or can no one hear me? Yeah, majority of you guys can. Only seen Sean, who, what, when. Would you ever get an MT09? I had an MT09, just don't really... I think MT09, well, the best starter bike... starter bike. Well, to be honest, best starter bike is an MT07. To be honest, they're very easy, very giving on the throttle. I would say an MT07 going from a moped is a great starter sports bike. It's not too fast, but it's still fast enough where you won't get bored. So MT07 is a great start. MT09 is good. It's good for wheeling. Just not really a fan of the sound, and you do slide off the back of it if you accelerate too fast on the MT09 as well. So it's not really got a cup seat like the Kawasaki does. But yeah, MT07's a great starter. MT09's okay. It's good for wheelies. I much prefer. I think the Z1000's just unbeatable. Yeah, the Z1000 I got at the moment, I've got a burnout exhaust, dual double exhaust on it at the moment. Sounds amazing. Same again, trades into the bearish order block, draws lower, trades into the bearish order block, draws lower. This extremely algorithmic bearish price action just continues to draw lower. We've now taken that point of sell side and the 5 minutes flip bullish. I'm slightly surprised that Bitcoin's not been affected by the Nasdaq being down almost 2%, because Bitcoin was slightly down earlier quite a lot. Yeah, I don't know why Discord has issues with, you know, it has issues with the audio sometimes. It's quite annoying. The funny thing is that the people that talk the most in the chat are the ones that can't hear me, and the sensible, normal people inside of the Discord are the ones that can. We can hear a dog, or someone passed me. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to a dog. I was gonna say someone passed me a gun. I'll put it out, but one, I'm not in the US, and two, I wouldn't do that to a dog. Restart the stream. Okay, I'm gonna restart the stream, guys. Okay, so you guys can hear me now. Everyone was, you know, you can see my screen. We're not taking any positions. I wasn't talking about too much. You guys didn't miss anything. Alright, so we're currently outside of the second layer macro. We're going to be waiting for the lunch macro. I want to see some sort of accumulation period after that enormous down move that we've seen here. So let's move lower. I want to see an accumulation period, and then we can look for longs during the lunch macro. So I'll speak to you guys shortly. No trades were taken. It's all good. So you guys would have seen my screen. No positions have been taken. And let's wait for the lunch macro and see what we get. I'll unmute my mic at 11:35. Just as we're between macros, guys, please make sure that the chat remains about trading, because no one else inside of the Discord cares. I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but just make sure that the chat is purely about trading only. No sound? I mean, surely you guys can hear me, no? These fair value gaps are so far away. Sometimes it's a little difficult to see what the current bias is on the intraday. Obviously the 5's bullish, we know that. So the 15 got inversed. So the 15 is bearish towards this low. Yeah. One hour's not bullish, 1 hour's neutral. 4 hours neutral. Daily's obviously neutral. Our bias is still currently neutral as of now, so nothing as of yet. We still need price to trade lower into that hourly bullish gap to then shift into a bullish bias. So the 1 hour gap that we would trade into would be the lower for value gap on the hourly time frame, which represents this one. So we do have to trade another 60-70 points lower into the hourly bullish gap to then have intraday. As of now, we got bearish 15 and bullish 5, which is neutral. But if we trade back into that hourly, then we'd have a bullish bias. So right now there's no positions. Yeah, so as of now, there's no positions for us to take. Obviously, there's no shift in market structure on both assets, so there's nothing inside of this lunch macro as of now. If you guys are wondering why I'm muting my mic a little bit more frequently than usual, obviously, I always keep my mic unmuted throughout the whole stream. Some people say no audio. Let's just talk just for the live stream. Is because obviously I am packing. Yeah, some people can hear, some can't. So I'm currently packing bags. My flight's in 3 hours, and I need to catch a 1 hour taxi. So I might have to take my laptop out of the condo and take you guys with me on the live stream whilst I'm monitoring price. So I'm multitasking right now, but I have not seen anything that we can look to take as of now. Bias was neutral from this standpoint. This trade is not valid, so there's nothing. Okay. Alright, yes guys, hope everyone does have a great rest of their weekend. This last macro's kind of ran it pretty tight for the flight, so I've been packing bags and also monitoring price simultaneously as well. There's not been any trades that we've missed today. There's been absolutely nothing in the first, second or third macro. We managed to monitor all of them. And this week we ended up with a minus 1R result after a 7R October. And this is only the first week of November. We are going to see what we get as we go into next week. And I'm going to make some upgrades to the Discord over the weekend. And also tonight we're adding the yearly P&L. From last month we're going to add the P&L and also update as we go through November, so on and so forth. So you guys can see the ongoing progress. All is good. Okay, right. I hope everyone does have a great rest of their weekend. And I will speak to you guys shortly. I'm going to go catch this flight now.